This is Christina Pryor, and for my research project, I choose to do an original ekphrasis on Da Vinci's most famous art piece, The Last Supper. More specifically, from the point of view of Judas Iscariot, as everyone knows him, the betrayer of Jesus Christ. So, in 1494, Da Vinci was commissioned into painting a mural of his choosing in a refectory, or it was known as the common eating area of the religious institutions, and this one was in Milan, Italy. At the time of Da Vinci, frescoes were a typical style of painting an artist would use, but Da Vinci had come up with his own tempera paint mixture that would stick better to his plaster layers on the wall of the refectory in any painting he had done. In this painting, he decided to use expressive realism to create the vision of tension as well as the individual reactions and emotions of each of the apostles, while Christ reveals he will be betrayed by one of the 12 at the table. I tried to find a better painting. This is the best one I could find of it that is a little clearer, so you can take a look at each individual apostle and see how he had given them each their own expressive emotions. And then looking at the painting, you can see Da Vinci uses a one-point perspective where he directs the viewer's eyes towards Christ as the main attraction of the painting. While doing this, he took advantage of the architectural space to manipulate one's perception of the painting. Like, take the three openings behind the table as he depicts a spiritual connection with the three windows representing the Trinity doctrine of the time. So finally, about 4 years later in 1498, Da Vinci had completed the mural. Reading you my original ekphrasis titled The Sons Betrayal, told in the first person point of view from Judas Iscariot, which I'll also be posting as I read it if you would like to read along. Truly, I tell you, one of you will betray me. He knows, his words ringing in my ear through the muffled words. Is it I, Lord? Out of the mouths of the sheep. I cannot blame him for the solemn stare, knowing his fate. The look, that look. He looks down, the sun's eyes shifting toward me. The guilt I am feeling amongst the confusion of men. The shocked looks, my brothers, or so called. I sit at the right hand of the son I was paid to kill. The angry looks, I grasp my bag of 30 silver, my pay, my blood money, shaking in my cold, sweaty, trembling hand. That look in Peter's eyes, the knife shining in the slight light from the openings in the walls mocking the Trinity. I see the men's shadows, not knowing who has the knife now, if that knife will go through my chest. The look of calm, I peer down the table, the son soberly hunched over the blood and body of the Father, I know of which I do not deserve to break and drink. I know, he knows. In the mind, it feels like forever. When chaos is over and brothers have settled, I can shed my cover as a follower. The son's fate, sealed with the kiss of betrayal in the Garden of Gethsemane. So the son's betrayal was written again from Christ's betrayer Judas's point of view, and with it expressing through his inner turmoil after discreetly being called out by Christ and keeping his secret inside from the other apostles. For anyone who's not familiar with what exactly happens, mentioning the kiss in Gethsemane, that's the act where Judas kisses Christ in Gethsemane on the cheek to expose him to the chief priests and the temple guards in the book of Matthew before his crucifixion. So deciding to write one interpretation of the painting from the betrayer's point of view was with hopes of the reader having an open mind to themes of morality, faith, and loyalty. And the choices of imagery in the visual detailing, such as Judas clenching the bag of his 30 silver. Research on this piece, I learned that Da Vinci had painted the bag of silver purposely in Judas' hand as one of the many Easter eggs in the painting. As you can see in the close-up picture of Judas at the table, easily giving him away as the betrayer, possibly mostly to those who do not know the history of the Last Supper, but most likely to the ones that do know the story of the Last Supper, but it does make it kind of obvious, because he did take that money to give him up. This is the end. Thank you.